Welcome to Rook's Health. My name is Farouk Bello and I'm the host of the Rook's Health podcast. And in these videos I'm going to be making, and I have already started making, I'll get towards the international healthcare community. So if you're trying to get a job in UK or you're trying to migrate into the UK in a healthcare job, physio, nursing, OT, and all alike, make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out the other videos I've done. In this video particularly, I'm going to be covering, it's going to be a short one, but I'm going to be covering something very important. Where should you be looking for jobs if you're trying to, come and work in a healthcare role in the UK? Now, there are a lot of different places you can look, but the important thing is prioritization. So let's just get straight into the video. I'm not going to waste a lot of time with this and tell you straight up. The best place you want to be looking for jobs is NHS jobs, okay? Why is it NHS jobs? Now, this links directly to the previous videos in which I've done talking about the visa application process, the health and care visa. Now, if you're trying to get the health and care visa, you need to be looking at the NHS jobs or NHS affiliate jobs. Now, the safer bet is honestly look for NHS jobs. Honestly, that's what I'll tell you. That's what I did. Now, for those who don't know, I work as a physiotherapist here in the UK at the moment. And I studied here 3 years, my degree, and now I'm working for almost a year now. And I went through NHS jobs. Most of the other things, were secondary. But I will tell you, they all have their place. But where you need to be starting is NHS jobs. Why? That's probably what you're wondering. You've heard about other places, LinkedIn, Reed, and etc. NHS jobs gives you NHS jobs, which is exactly meets the criteria for a lot of these places if you're trying to get the visa. Now, even on NHS jobs, you need to be looking at the type of visa, but this can be a whole separate video, but I'll just give you a snippet. Mainly, I would strongly recommend you look for permanent posts, okay? On NHS jobs, you can actually, filter out which one are permanent, which one is locum, which one is, because there are jobs where, it's your temporary worker, you have a contract, maybe 6 month contract. Those type of jobs, it's a bit more difficult to get a visa because ideally what most people would want, and what I myself am doing, is you want a long-term visa, okay? You want a 4-year, 5-year visa, which they do give you up to 5 years at the moment now on the health and care visa. You don't want one that gives you 6 months and then you have to reapply, because if every 6 months you have to reapply, and I don't know how guaranteed you are. I know strongly if you get a permanent post, your success rate is going to be higher than if you have a 6 months for getting that visa. So you want to filter it out and make sure it's a permanent post, or at the worst case scenario, a long-term fixed post, not a 6 months fixed post, because even if you are successful with that 6 months post, you're going to have to do it again. And NHS jobs give you I'm not sponsored by NHS jobs, okay? I just work in the NHS, but yeah, that's what I did, and it's very, very straightforward. And I'll do a whole separate video going into a bit more depth about the job application process, person specifications, personal statements, and etc. But this is mainly about where you should be looking for your jobs, okay? Where you need to be going. Now, let's talk about some of the secondary markets for jobs. And that's what I call them, honestly. These are places such as LinkedIn, Indeed, Reed.com, you have BMJ. Now, the reason I call them secondary is because, I'll be honest, they're primarily to an extent geared towards, home students who don't need these extra, loopholes and rigmarole we have to go through as international students. For example, they'll be offering jobs in private companies, in sports companies, sports teams, private MSK, these type of places. Now, I'm not saying you can't get a job as an international student or international, community. You can, but if it's not going to be under the health and care visa, which is actually the easier one for you to be going through now. So you can go through that route and try to get MSK, but you'll be just beginning under tier 2. And it makes it a bit difficult. You're not going to get all the perks of the health and care visa if you're not going through the health and care visa requirements, which is reduced fees. You're not going to be paying NHS surcharge on the health and care visa. Do check out the video I did about that. That's very detailed. But that's what I'm saying. So LinkedIn is another good place. But where the role, I would say, somewhere like LinkedIn is, for me, I started NHS jobs and then I go to LinkedIn. But LinkedIn, the reason I use LinkedIn, for example, is actually networking to find these people in different roles. Because you can't work part-time even now. I have the ability to work part-time within my visa requirements, okay? So LinkedIn is a very good place for you to network, find these extra part-time jobs, find maybe some weekend work, find some evening shifts. And then once you're already in the door via the NHS affiliates, then you can start, you do these extra stuff. The other sites like Indeed, Reed, you can use them absolutely. And a lot of NHS jobs are actually linked and are actually on these other websites, but they're mixed, So NHS jobs has only NHS, jobs. But Reed and Indeed and all these other ones, they have NHS jobs, they'll have private, they have, foreign, and they have different ones. So you're going to be sorting through a lot of the madness. So I would always strongly recommend you start with NHS jobs and then use these other markets as a secondary means for your application. Now, NHS jobs is very straightforward, and I use that, but I'll do a separate video on that, explaining what you should be looking for in that making the job application process, as I think I already mentioned before. But another one is LinkedIn, as I mentioned. I keep mentioning LinkedIn again, but I do strongly recommend have a LinkedIn profile, because even when you get your NHS jobs, like right now, you can find me on LinkedIn. It's exactly my name, Farouk Bello, and I have a profile there, and I'm building that connection for when the time comes. If I say, okay, I want to maybe change jobs, you can do it through LinkedIn. I want to get some extra work, you can do that very well through LinkedIn if you connect to the right people and building your network, which is a whole different thing. Networking in healthcare is very important, depending on your own personal aspirations. But I think I'm digressing off the main topic of the video, which is where you need to be looking for jobs. Now, just if they take one thing away from this, I intentionally spoiled it at the beginning, but go to NHS jobs and use NHS jobs. Now, if you want me to cover anything specifically about NHS jobs, I have already gotten your requests, people asking about personal statements and person specifications and how you link those together. So those will be in a next video, which I'll be doing just to try and give a bit more analysis about what to expect and how to actually go through this process. But again, use NHS jobs first, use the other ones as a supplementary site. No, don't make those your first priority unless you know how to navigate them very well. Now, everyone's a bit different, but just I chose the safer route, and it got the job done. And NHS jobs, you can get band 5, band 6, band 7s. You can get multiple different positions all in one. You can really fine tune it down to your location, your where you are, what salary brackets, and X, Y, and Z if you want first contact practitioner roles. And it's varied, but it's a lot easier there if you just use NHS jobs. But okay, please do make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out our other videos. Things have been going quite well. I'm quite happy with things. A lot of people enjoying the videos I'm making, so thank you also for the support, and to the next video.